What's up, everyone? I'm here in New York in Greenwich Village. Gorgeous Saturday afternoon, October 29th, 2022. It's about 3:30 p.m. and it's 59 Fahrenheit, 15 degrees Celsius. We're gonna walk around today, check out some spots of the Greenwich Village. But you may not have seen him for a while, but he's back.
OMG. Hey, what's up, Ken? How are you?
I'm excited to see you too, man.
It's good to see you, man. It's good to see you. Welcome back to New York. It's me, old Tom D. Just hanging out here today with Ken. We're going to be walking through and talking about the dark side of Greenwich Village. Very spooky. Very spooky. Lots of costumes and stuff. So, what do you think, man? Should we just do this?
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm going to give you guys some information. Me and Ken are going to just rap, you know, and chat. Look at the little dogs. What do you think, man? Should we just walk?
Yeah, let's go.
We got some ground to cover. Let's do it.
We're going to see some Halloween costumes too. I mean, it's the Saturday before Halloween.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day today. A beautiful day, you know. The fall leaves are changing. Pollen's in the air. Allergy season. I don't know. That's not true. I just have them.
Yeah, please excuse Tom. He's got some allergies today.
Yeah, please excuse me if I sniffle. Look at this dog. Well, to start out, Ken, you know the story behind Washington Square, right? And how what we're walking on, right?
Oh yeah, it's a potter's field.
It used to be a potter's. It's not a potter's field anymore, unless that's what you're using it for, you freak. It's not anymore. They bought it, so the city acquired this land in the late 1700s to use as a potter's field, meaning that they did it to do all kinds of stuff, including to bury bodies.
You're not gonna be afraid, are you? You're not gonna be afraid. You was afraid already.
So one of the things I guess people don't realize is that Greenwich Village kind of grew initially in the late 1700s, early 1800s because of the yellow fever epidemics happening in the lower Manhattan area at the time. Lower Manhattan was where the city was located. And at the time, Greenwich Village was literally a village. It was like a separate, almost entity. And so people were escaping all of that. Kind of the way people escape today's, you know, quote, you know, pandemic and all that stuff by leaving cities and going to other places. They were escaping the, you know, yellow fever epidemics of the late 1700s, early 1800s and coming up here. So that being said, they bought this land to bury people. So, Ken, I don't know if you knew this, but we're walking on potentially thousands of dead bodies right now.
Yeah, that's pretty spooky.
Isn't that pretty cool?
And I'm sure they haven't found everybody's remains.
Look at this.
What is this, a Halloween dance mash?
I have no idea what's going on right now. What is this?
Evil spirits dance.
You know what's spooky, Ken? How old we're getting. So we have no idea what's going on. That's a spooky thing for you.
I have no idea what's going on.
I think this is my theory, is that they're playing different songs that have like choreographed dances that are really popular and stuff. And then if you know the song that's being played, you jump out there and do the dance. I've seen that before in other places. So now they wait for the next bit, I think. And then the people who know it jump out there, I think. See, they're all like listening. People are all like listening. You hear what it is?
Yeah. Definitely a Gen Z thing.
Yeah. So I guess these are all things that go viral, as the kids say, on the old TikTok. Anyways, we were talking about something way more spooky, which is the dead people we're stomping on right now. Give me some TikTok videos of that.
Yeah.
Give me some TikTok videos of some dead bodies buried under us. Anyways.
By the way, if you enjoyed today's video, check out Tom's video. He did a video of Greenwich Village.
So I did a video of the dark side of Greenwich Village, which we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about all that kind of weird and spooky and things, and, you know, grisly things too. So if you got a If you got a sensitive stomach, maybe you should go watch some, you know, puppy fails or something. Anyways, let's keep walking. Let's cross. Anyways, we were talking about how there's a lot of dead people underground here being buried because it used to be a potter's field. But another thing that they used the potter's field for was to hang people. So they hanged people here, and there's a hangman's elm in the northwest corner. We'll come back around and get it, I think. So that's one of the big, they hanged people there. They have the hangman's elm. It's called that because it's an elm tree, one of the oldest living things in Manhattan, they say. And they used to hang people from trees like that. So there you go.
Yeah. You know what's also spooky around here?
What's that?
The high cost of tuition at NYU.
Yeah, that's spooky. That's spooky for sure, Ken. I don't know if spooky is the right word for it. But yeah, I think, what is it, like close to 80,000 a year?
I know.
Something
the
like
last
that?
I checked it was like 75 grand.
Yeah, last I checked it was like 77 or something around there.
Man, they raised their prices.
They raised their prices. That's a cool little thing to show that. A little, it's called Washington Muse. A little, like where you take your little horse and carriage and stuff, park it. Now we're walking up Fifth Avenue, by the way, which is where this is where it starts, right? Washington Square is where it starts, or where it ends. Huh? You want to be glass half full, glass half empty. But yeah, we're walking up to West 10th. I'll show you guys that street. You guys are gonna enjoy that. Ken, how are you, by the way?
Pretty good, man.
How does it feel to be back in New York?
Definitely different than Florida, that's for sure.
How so?
I mean, we have the warm weather down there. Here,
Yeah.
It's getting kind of chilly for October.
Yeah, no state income tax. That's always a big thing too. And down there in Florida. Do you like
No
Florida?
pub subs there.
No pub subs here, you mean?
But yeah, that's right.
Yeah. You left a land of infinite food choices and greatest pizza in the world for pub subs. It shows you the draw of the pub sub that Ken left specifically for that reason. No other reason. Ken sits in his apartment all day and just eats public subs. You know, I was going to say something about people just walking, looking at their phones,
Yep.
and texting and stuff, but then I realized that you're actually walking with your phone right in front of your face right now. So it would kind of be like,
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
we can't make fun of anybody.
There's so much construction now in the city. I came back, like,
Yeah,
always are coming up.
yeah. Well, there's that, the old saying, you know, New York's going to be a great city if they ever finish it. Oh, look at that. There's a shock, residential.
Nothing more than a hole in the ground right now.
That's right. So what do you think is, what do you miss about New York, Ken?
I miss the people, I miss the food, I miss the atmosphere. Believe it or not, I miss the subway too. It just makes it so easy to get around.
Yeah, of course. You have to drive everywhere in Florida. That's a nightmare. And Miami, dude, Miami's got some of the worst traffic in the world, dude.
Yeah, tell me
It's
about it.
brutal down there. You gotta have like, you know, I don't know, you gotta have like
Drivers are also pretty ruthless there.
yes, you have to have like an iron will to drive in there. It's really, it's horrifying. You know, it makes you question everything.
Yeah. I'm on I-95. I see people from like the left lane
Yeah.
go all the way to
All
the
the way
right
across.
with no turn signal.
There's no, I mean, there is no turn signal in Miami. It's a myth. Like they specifically manufacture cars for Miami with no turn signals on them. And people just drive like bats out of hell. It's wild down there. Okay, so we're gonna be turning on West 10th here in a second. We'll be talking about this street. It's a pretty cool street. One of the prettiest streets, I think, in Greenwich Village, in my opinion. But you'll see why we're there in a second.
I don't really turn down these side streets that much.
Yeah. So just so you know, guys, Greenwich Village is traditionally the bohemian center of New York. You know, a lot of alternative lifestyle. You know, more cultural. you know, minded people, etc. Because for a few reasons. One is the people who moved out here initially who had money tended to turn their backs on all the hoity-toity and all that stuff from down in what was then New York and Lower Manhattan. Also, too, you had the immigrants who moved here who also didn't really give a crap as much about what you did with your life and all that stuff as long as you didn't get in their way, just trying to survive in a new place. And three, you had university, NYU, which opened in 1831. All those three things kind of came together to create this place where you could kind of do what you wanted. And it also kind of like, fostered a more open, I guess, environment to experiment with art, experiment with your life and all that stuff. Today it's super expensive, baby. Ooh, yeah. Lord, you're gonna find that out. Ooh.
Just like Greenwich, Connecticut. That's expensive there too.
That's correct. Greenwich. Look, you see that person's piano in there. It's funny because like the way people designed their houses back in the day, they had all these big bay windows and stuff that look into like their expensive rooms. This is before Instagram, where you could just show your private jet trips and stuff like that. You got to show off your money some way.
Yeah. And we got some Halloween decorations.
Yeah, check this out. There you go. So this is an interesting story here. This is the House of Death, it's called. This is the House of Death, 14 West 10th. This is where Mark Twain used to live. They say it's haunted by him. They claim to have seen his ghost in the 1930s. Mark Twain, also known as Samuel Langhorne Clemens. Supposedly he showed up and he's dressed in all white and everything, and said, my name's Samuel, and I got a problem I got to settle. That's what supposedly the ghost said to the person. There was a book written in the 1970s about all the people and stuff who died here, which they believe was like dozens of people. And in 1987, this horrible case called Joel Steinberg, the attorney, happened here. And what happened was, I think it was November 6th, 1987. He goes to the hospital here, St. Vincent's, which has since been knocked down for condos. How's that for spooky? He goes over there and brings his daughter in. I believe her name was Lisa, and she had been hit in the head, and she basically died. And he did seem very indifferent. It was all very sketchy, you know. So they come and investigate, and here they find his other toddler son, I believe is 18 months old, chained to his pen, his playpen. Ooh. And there's like filth all over, like human excrement. There's like cocaine, all kinds of crazy stuff. So, you know, pretty much like any, you know, today would be any investment banker's apartment. No, I'm just kidding. But it's actually, it was like, whoa, this is a problem. So they actually arrested him. They arrested his partner, Hedda Nussbaum, as well. I think she eventually got out, but then they basically they took him to trial, and he went to prison for a very long time. And it was like the case, it's like everyone was talking about and all that stuff, the trial of Joel Steinberg. And I believe he's out now. I don't know exactly what he's doing. He might be, you know, drawing caricatures in Washington Square, who knows? Yeah, maybe. We can go get your caricature drawn by him. But no, this is called the House of Death for all the stuff that's happened here, including that. But yeah, pretty nuts. I think the book is called Spindrift, is the name of the book by the woman who wrote it about this place. But kind of crazy, huh, Ken? Mm-hmm. Ken, what are you texting over there, huh?
I'm looking up Joel Steinberg, what he's doing now, yeah.
What
early life, death of Lisa Steinberg.
Yeah, there you go, you found it.
I don't know.
Ken is, by the way, just so you guys know, guys, Ken is on his phone right now. He's buried in TikTok. He's lying. He's not really looking at anything up. He's looking at dancing videos.
I want to know what he's doing.
He's looking at K-pop dancing videos. He wants to go back to that, you know, that circle we saw and actually know what he's doing.
Sometimes these people get out of prison, you don't know where they are.
You don't know where they are. That's true. I think that's kind of the way they want it.
Oh, shoot.
What?
Notorious child killer is still living in Harlem and shows no remorse.
Who, Joel Steinberg?
Yeah.
He's in Harlem?
This is an article from the Post back in 2017.
Oh, wow. So he's in Harlem, huh?
Yeah.
This is kind of cool. Speaking of stuff, this isn't as spooky, but it's kind of cool. This is where Emma Lazarus lived for a long time. So Emma Lazarus is she was the writer of the poem called The New Colossus, which is the one that they have inscribed at the base of the Statue of Liberty. Mm-hmm. So she lived here. Interesting fact, so as you know, as many know, as a little trivia, is the original idea behind the Statue of Liberty wasn't to be about immigrants, it was more about democracy going out of the United States to the rest of the world, but it gained the reputation for being a place of welcoming, a light of welcoming to the new world, whatever, New York, because of all the immigrants coming in. And part of the, like, I guess, fundraising for the pedestal of the statue, because those freaking French people gave it to the United States and like, oh yeah, the pedestal, you guys got to do that yourself, which is fine, I guess, better than no statue, but everyone got to raise money. So part of the way they raised money was with essays and with poems and all kinds of stuff. And Emma wrote this poem based on her work with a lot of immigrants about it being a new Colossus, you know, kind of welcoming people, you know, and all that stuff, the tired, hungry, huddled masses yearning to breathe free, that kind of thing. That was her. So kind of cool.
Yeah. I found it funny how they had the Statue of Liberty's torch in Madison Square Park for
They
a
did.
long time.
They had they did that to raise money. They
Yeah.
did that to raise money. That's right. And it's interesting because Boston was actually like making a push to get the Statue of Liberty. So they almost had the freaking Statue of Liberty in Boston Harbor.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that nuts?
That would have been completely different to have it in Boston.
Yeah. These here were designed by Stanford White, which we're going to talk about here in a little bit. Here's for spooky. Ah!
Oh my gosh. Is that my grandfather?
That's that one right there? Which one's
Yeah.
that one? Look at this. This is me when I'm intermittent fasting. Okay, let's keep moving. All right. Look at that. Look at those people. They're hanging from the. Look at
Oh my
the things hanging
gosh.
from
It's
the
like,
window.
look at all the skulls.
And the skulls, yeah. That's kind of cool. Pretty grisly. You got
I know.
hanging torsos from your window. This
We
is
sure
pretty
picked
cool.
the day to do this tour, huh?
Yeah, this is a great day. This building here, this is the Bacchus house. This is pretty cool. You see Bacchus, kind of like the god of partying and wine. I believe Sean Parker used to live here. Sean Parker was the inventor of Napster. You remember Napster, Ken?
I remember, yeah.
Napster was, whew, that was a life-changing thing. But Sean Parker was also the guy who Justin Timberlake played him in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
How's that for spooky? An NSYNC reference.
Yeah.
Ooh. So this is West 10th. It's pretty street, no?
Yeah.
Sinclair Lewis lived here, right over there to the left. Sinclair Lewis, by the way, was the first Nobel laureate from the United States. First Nobel Prize for Literature. I believe he won in 1930. He's the guy who wrote Main Street, Babbitt. He also wrote It Can't Happen Here. You ever heard of that book?
Never.
It's about the rise of fascism in the United States. And there was like a huge spike in sales in the last, however many years.
No parking signs already for the Village
Halloween parade. Yeah, it's on, when is it? Is it
Halloween.
on Halloween, right?
Yeah,
34th, so
Monday.
that's Tuesday, right?
Monday.
Oh, Monday's Halloween, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I always forget when Halloween is. When are you releasing this thing, by the way? Am I talking on Halloween? Am I time
On
traveling?
Halloween, yep.
Okay, so I'm talking to you on Halloween. Mm-hmm. Okay, happy Halloween. How about that? So, we're walking over towards 6th Avenue. This is actually going to be the route of the Halloween parade on today.
Mm-hmm. And if you're watching this on Halloween, then you're gonna see me go live during the parade. So be sure to stay tuned for that.
You're going to see Ken as the Grand Marshal. What's your costume this year, huh?
I don't know, man.
You don't know a costume yet?
I don't have a costume yet.
You're not going to have one? You better dress up. You're going to dress up, right?
I'll think about it.
Oh, Ken, you got to dress up, man. So
I have to head over to Party City.
Party City. You're just going to go as like an Avenger or something? All right, check it out. So this here is very cool. This is the Jefferson Market Courthouse. Today it's a library. It was actually built as a courthouse in the 1870s by a man named Calvert Vaux, who actually designed, one of the designers of Central Park. Very beautiful little Victorian architecture style building, but it was a courthouse. Some of the cases it saw was Mae West. It tried Mae West when she had her extremely risque play called Sex. You should probably bleep that out, huh? Because it's so risque. But also more importantly, this is where the trial of the century, well, they called it pretty early because it was in 1906. They didn't know about OJ yet. Hey, you see that? Someone knew you.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, in 1906, they tried a man named Harry K. Thaw here. Harry K. Thaw for killing Stanford White. Stanford White, the famous architect, he's the guy who designed the Washington Arch, where we started.
Yeah, we were just there.
Yeah, he designed, well, his firm, McKimmey and White, designed a lot of different. They designed the original Penn Station. He designed Madison Square Garden. This is where the story gets interesting. He actually was killed on the roof of Madison Square Garden. Ooh. Because he had, quote, dated this woman named Evelyn Nesbit. It was more, kind of questionable circumstance. Let's just say he was kind of a creep and leave it at that, because it's a whole other thing. But she was like 16. There's actually a movie about it called The Woman on the Red Velvet Swing. You should look it up. Anyways, he dates this woman, and then she goes off and marries this guy, Harry K. Thaw. Now, Stanford White was like super famous. He was cool and like in all the clubs and all that stuff. All that's great. Harry K. Thaw was kind of a wannabe. He wished he was kind of like that cool. He wished he was like an heir to a fortune, steel fortune, I believe. And he never really got in with all the cool kids, so he was always jealous of him. And then to boot, Harry thought that his wife still loved, Stanford White. So one night they go to the Madison Square Garden, which used to be on Madison Square. Shock. And he goes up to him right while everything's going on there on the roof, shoots him right in the head. But not before saying, "You ruined my life," or "You ruined my wife." They're not exactly sure what he said, but one of those two, close enough. They're both kind of the same thing in that regard. And he shot him point blank right in the head. Isn't that nuts?
Unreal.
Told you got dark, Ken. But yeah, they tried Harry K. Thaw here. He pled insanity and was actually able to just get away with just going to an insane asylum. So they had him in an insane asylum, and he actually eventually got out. Kind of nuts.
Insane.
And it was nuts. There were like hundreds and thousands of people here all the time outside of this trial and stuff. So, yeah, pretty wild.
Yep. Romance story gone wrong.
Yeah, it really is. It's really sad. And then behind this place, there is a garden called the Jefferson Market Garden where the women's prison used to be. So from the 1930s to the 1970s, there was a prison there, like this 11-story building. They tore it down, and that's where they like kept Mae West. Before it was a women's prison, she was there. Then it turned into strictly women for the 1930s. But also Angela Davis, a famous civil rights leader. Ethel Rosenberg, the Rosenbergs, she was held there. Dorothy Day. So a lot of people. Also, what was her name? Valerie Solanas, the woman who shot Andy Warhol, was also held there. Kind of nuts. And you could hear like the women in the windows. They would talk to like their loved ones and stuff down the street. They'd just like yell. Like the kids would come and be like, "Hey, Mom, where's the meatloaf?" Whatever. She's like, "Oh, yeah, check the drawer." So they would just like yell and stuff from the. So people were like, we can't have this, kind of creepy. So they eventually got rid of it. What do you think, Ken? Should we keep moving?
Yeah.
Let's go.
If we stay here too long, we might be blown in the head like Stanford White, right?
That's pretty dark, Ken. Are you suggesting that we're gonna get shot in the head if we stand here too long?
I don't know, man. New York's scary these days.
Yeah, that's pretty extreme, though. I don't think that's gonna happen.
I don't think so. We might get punched in the face first.
I guess that's true. That could happen. That could very well happen. Which is why our next stop is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym. We're going to watch Ken train and become a cage fighter.
I'll be the next Bruce Lee.
You'll be the next Bruce Lee, yeah. So we're going to take a right up here on West 11th Street.
Do you have a costume plan for this year, Tom?
I already dressed up. So on Wednesdays I have a weekly show in New York City. There's usually a little plug for you guys. If you're ever in the city, come check it out. Super fun comedy show. And I dressed up for that. I went with my co-host as Kenny Rogers, and she was Dolly Parton. That's a pretty cool costume. You know who Kenny Rogers is, Ken?
I kind of remember.
Who is he?
Wasn't he the guy that did Top Gun?
No. You're thinking of Kenny Loggins.
Oh.
You're thinking of Highway to the Danger Zone?
Yeah.
No, that was Kenny Loggins.
Oh.
Nice try, though. That was close. Yeah. Sound off in the comments if you know who Kenny Rogers is. I'm just kidding. All right, let's go. I'm sure, you know, it's, you know, I'd say most Gen Zers won't know who he is. He sang Danny's song. He sang Gambler, The Gambler. You know that song, right, Ken?
Maybe if I heard it, I'll know.
That's the one that's like, you have to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em. That one? Know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. That was pretty good, right?
Yeah, it was good.
Thanks. You don't look impressed. All right. So now on West 11th, I wanted to show you guys this house. This is a cool story. This is an interesting story. Do you believe me, Ken?
I don't know.
You don't believe me?
We might have to go in the past and see if these stories are true, right?
Look at this. The little they got their like baby carriage like tied to the post.
Oh my gosh.
That's so funny. Is that weird? I think that's kind of weird, no? I guess they don't have valet parking for those here.
Nope.
That's so funny. Why wouldn't you just take it inside?
Yeah.
Unless you're visiting someone, you're just like, oh, they're not gonna let me bring it in, so I'm just gonna park it out here.
It's crazy.
That is kind of funny.
The stroller being locked
Yeah,
up.
just locked on the post. But yeah, that was my costume, dude. You gotta come up with a costume.
All right.
You gotta come up with a costume. Maybe you can go as Joel Steinberg. I'm not even gonna finish. That's gonna be terrible. I was gonna say you could bring like a. All right, I'm gonna stop. Oh, look at those roaches.
Oh wow.
And the spooky. Oh, I think I've seen that rat before.
Yeah.
I think that's the rat that lives outside my apartment. All right. So this is a good story we're going to talk about over here.
You know, I have a feeling like skeletons are the theme this year. I see more skeletons than anything else.
You think Trump would be eaten by a cat?
I mean, I can see it.
Well, a lot of questions.
Yeah.
A lot of questions about this. A lot of questions. The cat, Donald Trump head, Make America Read Again.
Make America
and
Read
then
Again.
the bandana on under that. A lot of questions.
How'd they get a Trump head to fit exactly where that cat is?
Yeah, I don't know. They just put it on the little skeleton body under it. A lot of skeletons around here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I rarely see like witches now and cats. It's all skeletons.
Damn skeletons.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. There goes the neighborhood. Skeletons everywhere. All right.
You know why? Because I think skeletons are guaranteed to be discovered every day because people are always dying, right?
Wait, people are always dying, Ken?
I didn't know that.
What are you talking about?
There's no shortage of skeletons.
We live forever. You're wrong. So I want to show you this here. This is super cool, man. I like this story. But then again, I got a dark personality. I don't know. Anyways, look. This building here. We'll get a good angle here. So this is a cool one. This is 18 West 11th. Pretty nuts.
16.
No, right here, next one. This one,
Oh,
18.
18.
This is the story here. So this building, Notice how different it looks from all the other ones, huh? You notice that?
Yeah, it's kind of angled off.
Yeah, it's because they remade it. They built it back up in the 70s when this pretty horrendous style was kind of in style. But they did it when the building before it was blown to smithereens. So what happened was in the year 1970, this family called the Wilkersons lived here, and Kathy Wilkerson lived here with her dad. She was, I think she was 25 at the time. And she was involved in, you know, typical mid-20s stuff, you know, we're all very mischievous. And she was with her friends here one day after her dad left town for St. Kitts, very fancy. And she was doing what kids in their mid-20s do. She was hanging out, they were drinking a little, making bombs, you know, what you normally do when you're in your 20s. The reason was because she was friends with a lot of people from the Weather Underground. The Weather Underground was this terrorist group in the late 60s, early 70s that was for, like, you know, basically just radical means to affect change, if you will. They got the name of the group from the song by Bob Dylan, Subterranean Homesick Blues. You know that song? Well, there's a line in it that goes, you don't have to be a weatherman to know which way the wind blows, right? Mm-hmm. And they got their name from that. And they basically bombed places and all that kind of stuff. But she was here one day with her friends, and they were making bombs in the basement. And go figure, they slip up, those knuckleheads, and they blew up 30 sticks of dynamite. Well, go figure. And so basically the whole thing was blown to smithereens. There was nothing here, pretty much. There's actually famous pictures of Dustin Hoffman, who lived right near here, carrying his art through the streets because he didn't want it to burn down. He was freaking out. So it all happened right here. She and her friend, so I think three of her friends died in that blast. She gets away with another friend, and they go to a neighbor's house. Their clothes were like blown off pretty much, and they were in, like, I don't know what was going on, but they were like show up just nude to their neighbors. They get clothes put on them and everything. And she gets arrested. Her friend kind of like is gone, and it's in the 80s, early 80s, she's caught in connection with an armored car robbery. Kathy Bodan was her name, and she was arrested in a connection with this armored car robbery later on. So it's kind of a wild story, and that all kind of happened here. So they built it back up, and they made this crazy style to kind of just differentiate it. Kind of cool, huh? Kind of crazy story.
Never would have known.
Yeah. You walk by all the time. This is where the Weather Underground bombing. But yeah, it's funny. The funny pictures of Dustin Hoffman walking through the streets with his art and stuff.
I think I've used that website before, Weather Underground.
Weather Underground?
Yeah.
You're thinking of Weather Channel. That's a totally different thing. Yeah, it wasn't Weather Channel employees down there. Yeah, you're thinking of a different thing. Sorry, Ken. Weather Underground, yeah. All right. So from here, we're going to head south. More of the spooky.
Oh my gosh. Is that Freddy? No, it's not Freddy.
Who, that guy with the beanie?
Yeah.
That's
I
not
thought
Freddy.
That was Freddy.
Hey, is that my friend Freddy? I hate walking under those things, dude. I hate walking under scaffolding.
The scaffolding.
I'd rather walk in the middle of the street. Those are a couple of crazy stories, huh? The Weather Underground?
Yeah. This is where the real New York's horror stories are told, under the scaffolding.
Yeah, right.
Not in the dark alleyways, which don't exist.
There aren't any. There's a few, but not many. I'm sure you filmed there, right?
Yeah. Portland Alley, and then there's
Portland.
another one in Tribeca.
Yeah. And
Those
there's
are the
one
ones
also,
I know.
Yeah. Well, there's like little through alleys and stuff, but I guess Cortland Alley is one. There's one in Soho.
Oh yeah, that's right. Like near the REI.
Yeah.
Houston.
Yeah, yeah.
Really? Yeah. Oh my god. I also had a guy sleep over. What? Yeah. What
What a nice day, huh?
Nice
Don't you miss
day,
the
but
fall?
dark stories.
Yeah. Yeah, nice day for stories of murder. Don't you miss the fall, dude? Don't you miss the fall down in Florida?
Well, I never experienced it there. I came here in September.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Because I think that's one of the things that I never got when I was down there.
Yeah.
You never get the seasons down there, you know?
The funny part is, throughout the summer, I heard it was warmer here than it was down there.
Yeah. It was pretty hot here.
Yeah. It never got above like the mid-90s there.
Do you ever get people when you're filming and stuff, especially when you're using like a phone, that get mad that they on the camera? Like when you're walking? Has anyone ever yelled at you or anything?
Yeah, there was one the other day.
What happened?
And they're like, "Can you delete me from the video?" Like, sorry, it's already live.
Oh, you were doing a live?
Yeah.
Where was it? Here or in Florida?
Oh, it's here.
Oh yeah, sure.
It was in
Yeah,
Soho.
people hate it, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense, I guess. For some people, you know, they're like running from the law or something.
I don't know.
Some people are literally like running from the law. Can you imagine that? You don't think about that too often, but speaking of spooky,
Yeah, you don't.
It's like you're walking by people. Some people could be like, you know, wanted for something. They could be like escaping something in a different part of the country, passing through on the way to doing something terrible.
Oh gosh.
Is that too dark? Yeah. I remember someone from my high school, a guy from like 2 years older than me. I went to University of Florida, and he went there as well, and he murdered somebody. He ended up going to jail for murder. And like I remember him from high school, and he was like, you know, he was kind of like a goofball and everything, but I didn't really know him that well. But he ended up going to jail for murdering somebody. It was like a guy who owed him money, and they just ended up getting into a fight, and he ended up killing him, and then trying to bury him in a field, and got caught. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, totally.
Not to mention, I went to a Catholic high school, so
Oh man.
make it even more salacious.
We're headed back to Washington Square Park.
Yeah, we're gonna pass through Washington Square Park, and then we can end the video. What are we at time-wise, Ken?
37 minutes.
Oh, that's not bad, right? What do you want? You usually do an hour?
Yeah.
It's a nice stroll. We're having a nice day.
Yeah, we got to see some decorations, people in costumes.
A lot of people in costumes.
Now I've got to find mine.
Yeah. What are you thinking? What are you? Oh,
I'll
yes.
stop by Party City first.
You're gonna do it. You're gonna do something from Party City.
Yeah, I think so. Because they have a wide selection.
So funny, man. These little dogs.
Worst case scenario, I'll just get a white tablecloth and put 2 holes in it for the eyes.
No, and
Yeah?
that isn't like.
And I'll be a ghost.
A ghost, huh? Make sure you fashion the white sheet pretty well. You don't want to go get confused with something else.
Oh my gosh.
But then also it's like, if I can go,
It's busy today, man. It's busy today.
Oh yeah.
it's like, oh, like, yeah, I might.
So just so you guys know too, this the arch was actually, this one here was built in 1895. The original was actually built in 1889 to commemorate 100 years since Washington was inaugurated here, because this used to be the capital. New York was the capital of New York. I'm sorry, the capital of New York was the capital of the United States.
United States.
And so to commemorate 100 years since he was inaugurated down on Wall Street, they built this arch out of plaster right around here, and then people liked it so much that they built a permanent one here in 1895.
New York was never the state capital.
Huh? Oh, we got to go by the Hangman Elm. Oh wait, we also got to go to the Triangle Shirtwaist, don't we?
Yeah, we should.
Dang, all right, we got a lot to see. What should we see? The Triangle Shirtwaist or the Elm? The Triangle Shirtwaist. Let's go. You want to jump in there? It's a shame. It's a shame you're not doing this live, so we can have people vote on whether you should jump in there or not. Let's see. I think that.
No clue. You look just as confused as I am.
I'll jump in when they do the Macarena. How about that?
That'll work.
You're,
Didn't rhyme.
I haven't seen the park this busy in a long time.
what's that?
I haven't seen the park this busy in a long time.
Yeah, dude. It's nuts.
So right.
Wonder if all these people are going to go to Halloween parties later or what?
Yeah, dude. Be careful, you're gonna get run over here. Pretty cool, I know.
Totally.
How many people? There's still people in Halloween costumes and everything. You know, I saw here in this area. Speaking of spooky, I saw Alec Baldwin.
Oh, wow.
You want to talk about spookiness? I saw him here like a week or two ago. Just randomly walking around. So so that right there, the Pope's Library, Pope's Library. I'm pronouncing it right, but that's kind of creepy. The inside of that place. The inside of that place, there's like an open atrium, and they were having a lot of trouble there with people jumping inside in the library, and they had to put like this like ugly fencing in so that people wouldn't jump anymore.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. I read all the stories about that.
Yeah. Oh boy, here we go.
I thought we were in trouble, Tom.
I thought you were going to get in trouble for filming everybody without their permission.
Uh-oh.
For filming me without my permission. I turned you in. Just so you guys know, I met up with Ken for lunch, and he's forcing me right now to do this. He said, "Tom, if you don't do this video, I'm going to deport your family."
Pretty gruesome, man.
That's spooky. All right, this is what I wanted to show you guys here. Right across the street. So this here used to be the Ash building. It's a brown building now. Whoop. Nice. This is kind of a crazy story.
Didn't always used to be NYU.
So this building used to be the Ash building, where on March 25th, 1911, the Triangle Shirtwaist Fire happened. Ooh. Well, it's kind of sad, actually. I'm not going to try to make fun of it too much. I shouldn't make fun of it at all. Look, let's just move on, okay? This is where the Triangle Shirtwaist Fire happened, March 25th, 1911. And what happened basically was you had what was considered kind of a sweatshop going on here. 8th, 9th, and 10th floors was the Triangle Shirtwaist Company. Shirtwaist was pretty much a blouse. That's what it was called. And what happened was there was a fire that started on the, I believe it was the 9th or the 8th floor. Either way, both doors were locked. So the women who worked there, mostly young women, teenagers-ish, were locked in. And they, died of smoke inhalation. They died of being burned to death. They died of falling out the windows, jumping out the windows. Some tried to escape down a fire escape that was out here, and it collapsed. Total mess. The owners of the company were on the 10th floor, and they were able to escape via the roof. It was a huge scandal, obviously, because 146 women died. Most of them, like Italian, Jewish, from the neighborhood, etc. And these freaking guys, locked the doors to avoid, union agitators from coming in, keeping the women at work, etc. And they were tried, and they actually were able to beat the charges. In fact, they made money from the insurance off of the women who died, which is pretty insane. They were obviously blackballed from the industry, but they were able to walk around free with you and me. They were probably in Washington Square Park dancing to K-pop or whatever in there with everyone else. But crazy, they beat the rap, and it all happened right here. Triangle Shirtwaist Factory at what was then the Ash Building, today's the Brown Building. It's now owned by NYU. Mm-hmm. Any questions, Ken?
I mean, what was a shirtwaist, first of all?
A blouse. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the name they had for a blouse. Thanks for paying attention earlier, Ken, when I said that. You guys caught him. Ken. Ken. What's your favorite part of this neighborhood, by the way?
And why do they call it a triangle?
Well, that's the name of the company.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just a
triangle. I thought it was always a shape.
Yeah. Sometimes they give names to these companies that are
funny.
Like referencing something else. Yeah.
I always wonder about that. Why is it a triangle?
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, this is a building now, part of NYU.
Okay.
What do you think? Should we keep walking?
Yeah, we can.
Let's do it. There's a couple other places we want to show them.
All right.
Right here near the park, and then we could just end.
All right. Learned something today.
Any questions, Ken?
The triangle is actually a company.
Triangle's a company, and not the shape of the blouse.
Or the shape of the building.
Or the shape of the building, right?
Yeah.
You thought it was a triangle building?
Yeah.
Oh boy. That might rank up there with the Statue of Liberty being on top of the municipal building when you go.
Yeah.
You're like, wait, Tom, what is this? The Statue of Liberty? For those of you guys who don't know, a little bit of trivia. Ken. He'll never live this down.
No.
He believed, he asked me if the statue on top of the municipal building next to the Brooklyn Bridge, it's 25 feet tall, not that big. He asked if it was the Statue of Liberty, and he will never live it down. Keep in mind, Ken was born and raised in New York, so
yeah,
very important detail. All right. Lucky day, man. We lucked out. Nice day.
Okay. I guess we could walk all the way to Hangman's Elm.
Well, I think what we could do actually is walk over to Minetta Creek, the Minetta Lane area, and there. But on the way, we'll stop by a famous author's apartment. Well, the facade of it, at least. A famous spooky author. Ooh, holy Lord, that scared the hell out of me. That door opening. Did you hear that? That kid must have been like 5 years old and asking them to stop for frappuccinos. I don't think I knew what a frappuccino was until I was,
oh my gosh,
in like my late 20s.
Oh, we're gonna pass by the library.
This is the library, yeah. The Bopst Library, whatever, Bopst. I don't know how to pronounce it. There it is. Elmer. It's quite a name. Elmer Holmes Bopst, or Bopst, whatever. But you can see the like fencing or whatever they call it, they put on it. How you doing, Ken?
Pretty good.
Yeah? Smells good here, huh?
Wow, look at this.
Yeah, traditional Chinese cuisine.
Food truck right outside.
Food truck right outside, Chinese food. So NYU dates back to 1831. And, you know, a lot of famous alum. Alec Baldwin, I believe, went here. Aziz Ansari. Lady Gaga went here briefly, until she dropped out. Spike Lee was a professor here. Fred LaGuardia went here. Martin Scorsese, professor.
My thought was like, right.
Nice little stroll, huh?
Really, yeah.
Nothing like just turning on the camera and going for a walk. I wish you guys could see the weird looks we're getting from people.
You should see the weird looks on my face hearing the Tom stories.
Yeah, you should see the weird looks Ken always gives me. Have you ever been hit by a car?
Never.
Well, there's a first for everything. Let's go.
Uh-oh.
No, I only asked because I feel like everyone here has almost been hit by some car.
I mean, I've almost gotten hit by a car
Yeah.
several times.
I've had cars like speed up to pretend like they're gonna hit me. Yeah, that's always nice.
Yeah.
It's a slight imbalance of power there. Talk about bullying somebody. But yeah, man, people are already lining up for their Halloween parties tonight.
Yeah, it seems that way.
You really got to come up with a costume, man. You got any ideas?
I'll have to go to Party City, see what they have.
Party City.
Yeah. Because that's usually how it happens. You got to go there and whatever Halloween costumes are left, right?
I'll let
Yeah,
you know if you want. I'll let you take the Kenny Rogers idea. What do you think?
I don't know.
He's the guy who sang with Dolly Parton. They sang "Islands in the Stream." He sang Danny's song, which is the one that goes, "Even though we ain't got money, I'm so in love with you, honey. Everything will bring a chain of love." You know that one?
Sounds familiar.
Wait, did we walk by? No. Oh yeah, we just walked by it. We're too busy singing Kenny Rogers. Look. So there's a couple of things here I wanted to point out. So first, this fire patrol. That says fire patrol there. That used to be a firehouse, obviously. Now today is actually a home. It's been renovated. It's where Anderson Cooper lives. That's not the spooky part either. It was actually where, when it was a fire station, I read that there was a fireman there who committed suicide in there, and I believe it's haunted by him. And the reason he did it was because his wife was cheating on him.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Way to thank him for his service, lady. Sorry. All right, let's keep moving. I want to show you this. Let's let these people walk by. So this is kind of cool. This is where Edgar Allan Poe, well, this is the facade. So what happened was, speaking of spooky, is NYU loves to tear down historic landmarks. But, you know, people fought back when they were going to tear down this building, which wasn't located here. He actually lived like a block or two away from here. But they saved the facade, and they recreated a little bit of the interior inside. But it's where Edgar Allan Poe lived. The creepy, spooky. You can see see the off to the side, that weird, like, staircase railing.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be salvaged as well. And they say it's haunted. They say that law students, because it's part of like law offices and stuff, they say law students have seen ghosts here before. Could also be the copious amounts of Adderall they're on, you know, but you know, they would claim to have seen that. And you can see here they talk about what he actually wrote while he was here. Cask of Amontillado. You ever heard of that one?
Yep.
You know what that one is?
I heard of the book, but I don't know the story.
That's the one where where the characters, it's kind of creepy. They build the bricks. They basically like build him into the wall, and that's how he's killed. Kind of wild, huh? Yeah. Anyways, this is where he lived. Kind of. We got a good shot of the building actually from behind.
Yeah.
Or the whole building, so you can see the facade, how it's like built into the rest of the building. It's kind of weird, but they just saved like the facade and put it into a modern building that they built. Actually, recently too, really recently. Kind of funny, huh?
Yeah.
What do you think? Should we keep moving?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah. Have you ever seen a ghost, Ken?
I've never witnessed one, but I think I may have like been touched by one or
What?
spooked by one. Yeah.
Show me where the evil ghost touched you.
Maybe it's just my imagination.
Where on the doll did the ghost touch you? No, wait, what happened? What's the story?
No, just some feelings, but I've never seen one.
Wait, what's the feeling, man? This is good stuff.
Just like light bulbs go out, whatever.
Yeah,
like,
but where did the ghost touch you? Is that true? You felt like a ghost touched you?
No, I just felt it. Like
what? Like on your arm or something, or what?
it probably was just my mind. I don't
Were
even
you
remember.
high, Ken? He's like, weird, the ghost touched me when I was doing a lot of LSD back in those days. Yeah, I've never seen a ghost.
I've never seen a ghost.
Never seen a ghost. I know people who have.
Mm.
But I've never, or at least they claim they have. I don't know if I really want to see one, to be honest.
Nope.
If they do exist, I don't know. So now we're going to turn off of McDougal.
A lot of ghosts in old buildings. That's what I heard.
What's that?
A lot of ghosts in old buildings. That's what I've heard.
That's right. Well, the thing is, you never know in New York how many people have died in a building. It's like buildings that have been around for so long. You gotta imagine that a lot of crazy stuff has happened in them. You know.
Oh yeah.
Like I remember, I used to house sit at a house where someone had died, and I always got the creeps when I went to sleep in there. I'd have to house sit there, and this guy had killed himself in there because he'd gone through like a divorce, and he was like really down. And I knew him. I knew the guy. I had seen him around, and one day, like someone was emptying out his apartment, and I took with a box, and I was like, "Oh, hey, how's Fred or whatever?" I forget his name was. And he's like, "Oh, you didn't hear? Fred he passed away." I'm like, "Whoa, what happened?" He's like, "Yeah, he was going through lots of problems with his divorce and all that." And he I think he overdosed on, and I don't have anything, man, sorry. And I think he overdosed in that apartment. And so the person who lived there after became a friend of mine, and I would house sit for her, and and I would be like in like the guy's bedroom and stuff. I just get the creeps, man. I get the complete creeps. But man, it's all in my head, you know.
Get down there, I'll let you.
Across here.
It's also spooky trying to beat New York City traffic and cars.
Yeah. It's nice evening. Not too crazy, not too busy.
Mm-hmm.
People out, a lot of life.
What's this guy doing now?
I don't know. We're about to become ghosts ourselves, it looks like. All right. All right, let's go. This place is cool. This is Cafe Wa. This is a little off the topic of spookiness, but this is where, look at all the people who you've performed here. So Rob Dylan had his first paid gig in New York, playing harmonica for $1 a day. Jimi Hendrix is discovered here. Look at all these people, man, who've played here. Pretty cool. All right.
Really neat.
I don't know how that's all spooky, but a lot of those people are dead. Is that spooky? It doesn't all have to be spooky, Ken.
Some of them are spooky songs.
It's true. Like which ones? What's your favorite song, Ken?
Favorite song?
Give the
let's
people what
see.
they want. Your fans want to know you. Here I am rambling and telling you all this crap.
I mean,
When people just really want to
I've
know
had
the real
phases, like for songs.
Ken. Your goth phase.
Goth phase.
In case you guys can't see Ken right now, he's wearing
I've had-
huge black
There's
Jankos.
like a classic rock phase, heavy
Yeah.
metal phase,
Of course.
country music phase.
Country music?
Classic.
What?
Yeah.
You're a
Classical.
country music listener, huh?
Yeah.
Wouldn't have that. This is kind of interesting. So this street here, so just so you guys know, this neighborhood of Greenwich Village back in the day was a Native American town. This was so the Lenape Native Americans who lived in New York before the Dutch settled here were like kind of spread out, and there wasn't a ton of Native Americans and Indians who lived here. But this was what the location of one of these villages was here in what is today Greenwich Village. It was called Sappohannocken. It was like I think it means like plowed field or tobacco field or something along those lines. And this route that we're on right now traces a creek that used to be here called the Monetta Creek. The Monetta Creek used to flow all the way up to what is today Madison Square Park, which is like, 17 blocks north from here. So it's not super close, but it used to go all the way. And there was a Native American village here before everything. And what we're on, it's called Monetta because it means snake water, which was actually, they had this belief that there was this evil spirit in the form of a snake who was vanquished by their hero, Nanabush, and drove him underground. And the creek that was left was the outline of his body. Isn't that crazy? And what was I going to say? Oh yeah, the snake was like, it like inhabited humans and it made them darker. It wasn't like this devil with horns or whatever that went around bashing stuff or whatever. It was like it infiltrated and made people like, evil and lazy or whatever. So it's kind of interesting. And so they say that. So it was like my point being, this was all sacred ground. This was all very sacred ground, And people forget that Native Americans lived in New York for like centuries before the explorers even got here, longer than we've all been here, So New York hasn't even existed as long as, and we're talking like hundreds, even thousands of years that people, and so they had like a complete mastery of their environment. They knew how to live with the animals and in a way that they basically cultivated more. So when the Dutch got here, they saw that there were like porpoises and tons of beavers and all kinds of stuff like they've never seen anything like that before. They were everywhere. And it wasn't an accident. It wasn't because the land itself was more fruitful. It's because the Native Americans had found a way to live in a way that actually promoted their, That's kind of cool, huh?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and today we don't have any animals here except for rats and
Pigeons
and squirrels and what else? Pigeons. And
raccoons.
Raccoons. Now raccoons. I've seen raccoons.
Yeah.
They don't even give a shit. They're just
I
walking.
know.
They're walking around. Walk right up to you. So yeah, what's the story behind this?
Uh-oh.
Look at this sandal. A frat guy has gone missing. How could we do a video at a time like this? We gotta find Chad. All right.
The mystery of the missing sandal. We'll never know.
So we're gonna walk to the end of this here. That apartment there. Have you ever seen the movie Serpico?
No, never.
You never heard of it?
Never heard of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Ken, good Lord. That's the movie with Al Pacino. It was like one of his big, breakout roles. And in the movie, he lived here. But yeah, we've covered a lot of ground, huh?
Yeah.
What do you think, dude? You think we talked too much, too little? You think did I blabber too much?
No, you did fine.
I thought I gave us some...
I didn't blabber enough.
No, don't beat yourself up. So here, we're coming up to 6th Ave. And not really, I guess, a ton to...
Yeah, we could wrap it up at 6th Ave.
Yeah, let's do it.
We'll attend the Halloween party afterwards. You can see the video later.
Yeah, dude. For sure.
On Tom's channel, right?
That's right. Yeah, you just watch the channel. Watch the video. I already have a video on this neighborhood. Here.
Just kidding, by the way.
What's that?
Going to a Halloween party and showing the behind the scenes.
Pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. What do you think, Ken? Oh, speaking of which, we were talking about the Triangle Shirtwaist. That's the Our Lady of Pompeii, that church. Yeah. And it was at that church that building wasn't built till the 1920s, so it wasn't that building actually, but the parish was there. And it was at this parish that they comforted a lot of the families of the women who died in the Triangle Shirtwaist Fire.
Horrible.
What do you think, dude?
Yeah,
Pretty cool, huh? That was a pretty good walk.
that was cool.
Not so bad, right? Well, what do you think, man? Should we sign off?
Yeah, we'll sign off here.
How do we do this? What's up?
And with that, folks,
We did it.
we're gonna say goodbye to the Greenwich Village and the really, really saddening stories that we heard today.
Yeah, they were uplifting in a way, I guess. Means embrace life while you got it, you know, I guess. I don't know. Look, it was entertaining. It was true crime. People like that stuff. But yeah, it was pretty good, man.
Yeah.
Back together. The band's back together. So yeah, it was a good time. If you guys can, check out my channel, TomDNYC, on Instagram, TomDNYC. Gotta plug the stuff, baby.
Yep. Go check out his video too, Dark Side of Greenwich
Oh
Village.
yeah, we'll put a link or something. Yeah.
Yeah, there's video description below.
Yeah.
See you later, folks. Bye-bye.
See ya.